Hello everyone, Johnny Minder here. And today we are starting a new Let's Learn Japanese with series to alternate it with Pokemon Fire Red. But yeah, after Super Mario Advance, so Super Mario Bros. 2, as in the USA one, USA in Japan because it's the international one. And yeah, today we are starting Star Fox, the Super Famicom in our case, because yeah, we're playing the Japanese version, obviously. I guess so the original one, and yeah, so that we'll have finished or still be close to that when the new one comes out. We won't play that as a Let's Learn Japanese with the series for the channel anytime soon, considering all the kanji in it, as we have seen during the direct. But hopefully we'll be able to edit play it for a mostly just for fun stream for the multiplayer, but we'll see. Oh yeah, without further ado, we can actually start. Okay, oh yeah. Funny enough, I would have one, but yeah. I'm not bothering with it. Oh yeah, here's our box art. Not much to say. Well, technically, we have a kanji, some kanji also here, but this time we won't study them for now. They are actually pretty difficult kanji, so we'll wait for those. And honestly, yeah, it's anyway just in the Supa FX Chippu Tosai. So yeah, equipped. Funny enough, I wonder if specifically considering that it's because the term can be used for equipping on ships and so on. So yeah, might be intentional for considering the kind of game. Or simply in general. But yeah, the famous Super FX chip. But yeah, the title of the game is simply Star Fox. Of course, while it's kept technically in English, we have its pronunciation in katakana, Star Fox. But yeah, Star we have already seen before, in thanks to Mario, with the usual U, barely heard if at all. R becomes long A, just like similar to also long, notice similar to English variants without the R sounds. And then Fox, the usual U, barely heard if at all for the Q, so even more similar to X. To the X sound, only with the additional doubling of the consonant. Be careful about that. Want to just check the accent of that. The accent for star we've seen just like in English. Yeah, pretty easy that. I wanted to quickly check Fox if it's yeah, that one as well, simply like in English. So yeah. Oh yeah, so, and of course on top, Super Famicom. Super Famicom. So yeah, we can actually start the game. I know there's Japanese, there are Japanese writings in this one. I don't know if also outside of, before starting the game, and yeah, we get these. Because yeah, funny enough, I have played this game. I actually had it also as a kid, but I barely played it at the time. I guess I was busy, too busy playing other games since yeah, it was already at home because we had an NES and a SNES thanks to my older siblings. But yeah, only that cutscene, we could say. Let's see if something happens without pressing start immediately. yeah, the arwing there in the background rotating. Our good old characters here in front. Oh yeah, so we're giving these, we're playing these. I don't think with anything might happen here in case we simply press start. Okay, no, actually something is showing up now. Okay, then it simply goes back here. Yeah, simply it again the cutscene, so yeah, you can go back to the title and press start this time. Push start, simply straight up in English in this case. Okay, here we have stuff, and these ones, these kanji will study. I'd say maybe next time at the start, so that, yeah, honestly, we can wait. I still translate them, of course, here, but yeah, let me actually take the screenshot then. Yeah, the kanji say Sosa Setsume. You might remember, we have already seen these terms. I think, for example, in our other current Let's Learn Japanese with the series, Fire Red, Sosa means handling, manipulating, yeah, technically, that so yeah, can be technically manipulated in its original meaning, so yeah, simply handling, but then also in the other sense, in the one technically used nowadays in English, so yeah, for manipulation. Here simply it's in handling, so yeah, operation and so on, also the other translations. I noticed the usual Chinese compounds. In this case, two combined to make a bigger compound, but yeah, Sosa on its own an accent as usual for those. Actually, no. Sorry, this is one of those on the accent on the first mora. So yeah, on the Sosa. The other one is Setsume. Yeah, this one I think we have actually seen it also recently. If not straight up last time. Yeah, it means explanation. But yeah, we'll actually focus on the kanji another time, so we can actually... we have checked the box art quickly this time, and we check the rest of this screen. But yeah, then to start playing the game, and then next time we'll focus at the first on the kanji again. But yeah, we can press press select, as it says, push selector to move from control A, B, C, D. So yeah, A, B, C, D. Control, simply control. We could say controls, as in control implied scheme. So yeah, so I want to see the accent, if I can find it, of Kontororu. Yeah. As for the adaptation of the word, we have the usual O after T, because T can stay on its own. If we added U as usual, we would change the sound into Ts. So that's why we add O for... not to some older words added U, but yeah, nowadays we would add O because of that. The long vowel for O, and so passing like in English control. And the Ru at the end, L, that becomes Japanese R, which is the closest sound. Kind of like an L, it can be a variant for Japanese R even. and the additional U also there. As for its accent, as was what I wanted to mention, if I can find. Ah, yeah, actually, control, yeah, it's like in English, control. Oh, yeah, we can see which controls we have here. We have, well, first and foremost, the D-pad, technically, up for by pressing down, so yeah, the reverse ones, down if you press up. With select, you can, it says view, so yeah, view. Let's check its accent also of that. I would say accent like, okay, I can confirm it. I doubt I'll find it in the physical dictionary, but I'll quickly take it. Okay, I got the physical dictionary. But yeah, considering that today we have these to check also, the kanji we'll study next time, so yeah. Makes more sense to do it like that, to play, actually play, start playing the game. Because, yeah, I knew for sure, I forgot about this, but yeah, I know there will be writings in-game, so yeah, we also have those. Let me see if I can quickly find this view. No, okay, this one isn't present, unsurprisingly, but oh well. My guess would be accented, just like in English. We have Burasta. I'm going anti-clockwise here. Breaky, so blaster, break. Sbato, bomb, smart bomb. Boost, boost. L and R, quick turn, quick turn. Yeah, the usual rules we have seen for English words, so yeah, nothing surprising. Okay, with this you switch between the break and the blaster. Okay. And yeah, then the other ones have those two switching and also the directions of. Honestly, I might go for those as it's okay. Blaster. I think I'll go for Control C here. As the control scheme. Yeah, you have to push start to exit, well, to select the control scheme and then continue. And yeah, we actually have also the choice between training and game. So yeah, training or game. And yeah, we'll actually check out also the training. So yeah, even more so today. Okay. Yeah, here we'll definitely have to take a video and or screenshots here to check these writings. Okay, with this I hope I got everything. Okay, yeah, didn't want to risk. And yeah, first and foremost we start with General Pepper here. Who says, Kimi no Jitsuryoku o misete morau yo. And yeah, first and foremost, Kimi, second person singular pronoun, you singular. Familiar language, of course. We've already seen this in other series. Pokemon, Fire Red, an accent, kimi. The possessive particle no. So yeah, of, you, your. And I have to mention immediately the elephant in the room, which we'll see even more so after. If you remember the kana, or even just in part, when we studied them or you have studied them before. Here, this is completely written in katakana. Yeah, you can also see because it's way more angular compared to the cursive hiragana. And yeah, honestly, it could be because of limitations. I don't know if that's the case or not. Even could be, considering that it's a peculiar game, even for the Super Famicom, with all the whole matter of the 3D, the special chip, and so on. Could be so, and also that we have a lot of English around, as you have seen. Straight up, we have a shield written in English. So yeah, could be a limitation, but I think they went for katakana also in particular, potentially to mimic the fact that they are talking through intercoms, or however you would call these. And so actually their voices are mechanical. They aren't talking in person. And yeah, so that could mimic also that, because yeah, as we see also in future series, when there are mechanical voices involved, then you go for katakana. So it could be also for that, in combination to potential limitations. Yeah, as I was saying, kimi no, so yeah, your jitsuryoku. We'll check its accent, but it literally means true strength. I think it could. It's the usual Chinese compound, unaccented. This one, okay, like most of those. But yeah, literally true strength, real ability, and so on. Then we have the object particle O, written as O and pronounced as such in careful speech and also singing. And notice that, by the way, yeah, good, one more reason to study it, even though usually in Japanese nowadays you wouldn't use it. But yeah, if you write straight up exclusively in katakana, yeah, then you are forced to use it for the object particle. And then we have misete, morau, yo. First and foremost, we have miseru. Comes from miru, which means to see, to look at, to watch. Verb with some verb. This one technically then is, we could say, a compound verb, or even better, most likely related, even though not strictly, to causative forms, because yeah, nowadays its meaning is to show, to display, but yeah, as in the original meaning is clearly to make someone look. So you can see why it's clearly related to the causative, also in meaning other than its form, because yeah, that seru is suspiciously, despite the changes, close to su in contemporary Japanese suru, to do, which is also involved in the causative. But yeah, miseru is also a verb, it's a verb, accented, So we can drop the ru to make the continuative form. In this case, simply to add the te and make the te form. The form in this case is required because then we add more au to receive. Yeah, like the verbs of giving in general, it means this one, of course, receive the favor of someone else, the one we are talking to, do the action of the verb in te. Last but not least, the final sentence particle yo, yeah, the usual one, you know, or simply we could say certainty, emphasis, yeah, one of the most fundamental final sentence particles. So yeah, here General Pepper is saying by adapting, I received, literally I received the favor of you showing to me your true strength, your reliability. So yeah, we can adapt it in English. I'll have you show me, to still keep it somewhat close, your real strength, your true strength, reliability. Yeah, after that we can continue. Yeah, after that, yeah, we have Peppy here, who says, Ringu o Suzukete Kugurete sa. First and foremost, Ringu, pretty easy from English, ring. We might have seen it before, or if we haven't, I'm simply thinking of when we played Mario Tennis, for example, accent on the first mora, so on the re, like in English, object particle again. Suzukete, we have seen it already, the verb, and by the way, we see when writing in kana, this nowadays you would usually write it with the kanji, so you wouldn't see it, but yeah, when writing it in kana, be it hiragana as usual or katakana, like in this case, we have the tsu, zu, written as tsu with the duck 10 instead of the usual zu, but yeah, it's because of its origin. But yeah, regardless, Suzukeru, we have seen it before in previous lesson Japanese with series, because yeah, it's the transitive verb, which means to continue. The intransitive one is Suzuku, so something continues. In that case, yeah, the usual intransitive in u, the transitive in eru, those are the most common ones. We have seen it also the other way around. Some transitives in u and the intransitive then in eru. Again, most likely simply because the u, the one in u is the original one, and then the one in eru is an adaptation, a convenient one to avoid confusion in contemporary Japanese. But yeah, so if the original verb in u was intransitive, like most of the cases, it's like that. But if the original was transitive, yeah, like yaku, we have seen, to burn and so on, yeah, then it changes. Yeah, so it depends on the original verb in u. But yeah, ru verb is a verb again, so yeah, pretty easy to make that a form. Drop the ru, add the te. Te form in this case simply, with its meaning, do the action of the verb in te and the rest of the sentence, or by doing the action of the verb in te, while doing, and so on. And then we have this kugurette. Yeah, not a term you would... well, actually, it's kugure. So yeah, let me actually see if I can find it though, because okay, kugu. it comes from Kuguru. Not sure why it didn't find it also the conjugated form in this case, but yeah, the te is actually, as we see, the particle, which we have seen also in our current other series. But yeah, Kuguru means, you might have guessed it based on the context. Well, in general, would be actually more to go under, to pass under, but then is also to go through, to pass through. So in our case, that, consider the rings. Could technically be also to dive into or under the water. There's technically a different verb for that, still written with the same kanji. Which is Moguru, that one. But yeah, by the way, both accented, Kuguru and Moguru. But yeah, here in our case, pretty easy to go from the actually original to go under, to pass under, then by extension to go through, to pass through. Verb, golden verb, so yeah, we can simply change the U into E to make the imperative form in plain speech. Yeah. Then we have the particle te, as mentioned. So yeah, technically can be an abbreviation of more things. The fundamental one is the to, so yeah, the quotation the quoting particle, quotation particle. Other expressions still related to that. To you, we have seen also, so yeah, quotation particle plus the verb you, to say, that when we've studied even in kanji, and so on. We'll see then when translating. Well, actually, in this case, it's most likely in this meaning that also the dictionary mentions that it's, well, technically it could be, I already told you, or simply you should know by now that, of course, certainty, emphasis, and so on. Last but not least, we have a sa as a final sentence particle. Which I think we should have seen before, indicates assertion, maybe even last time, actually. And it's actually mainly masculine. So I remember also that. But yeah, here, simply, so it's saying, of course, we could, it's translated simply as that, you should continue to, well, go through the rings continuously by adapting it. Yeah, it's something along these lines, but yeah, the meaning is clear, so yeah, continue to do that. Let's see what then then we have a Falco, and of course he says something along these lines. First he says hun, as in an onomatopoeia, of course. Well, we've seen it before, more like a or well, but yeah, in this case it would be more the other meanings mentioned also in the dictionary, pshaw, and so on. Pshaw, and so on. Considering the character and also the exclamation mark after it. And then it says, namerare ta mondase. And yeah, I think we have seen this before. Nameru usually would mean to lick, accented. other extended meanings like to taste. It's also used as with the meaning to underestimate, to make light of, to look down on someone, and so on. So yeah, used with those meanings. Here in particular, we have then it's a root verb, instant verb. So we can change the U into A and then add reru to make either the passive form of the verb or the potential form. Yeah, they're identical without the contractions, as mentioned before. But yeah, regardless, this form is a root verb, instant verb, so that then we can simply drop the ru to add the ta to make the ta form, and so the past form of the verb in plain speech. Then we have mon. Mon actually here is simply a contraction of mono, thing as in object is fundamental meaning, but yeah, actually used here by extension, and also can be seen with this, usually with this, at the end with then the copula da here, because we're in plain speech. It emphasizes emotion, judgment, and so on. A common occurrence in the past, not our case. A general tendency, something that should happen. In our case, simply let's say emphasize emotion and so on, consider the context. Last but not least, we have ze as the final sentence particle. Matter more language. The two meanings that we have seen before, I can tell you. So simply light, force, or emphasis. No, in this case, it's clearly the second one. Threatening or ironic, even more so consider the character. So yeah, here I'd say it's saying it's not clear completely, considering that it's relatively short, but yeah. Falco is saying that I'd say someone has looked, Fox most likely, as usual, is looking down on him, the usual stuff typical of Falco. And yeah, then last but not least, we have Sleepy here, who says, Stato botande gemuni modoru kero. I think actually then here the training, the dialogue might stop here, so that's great news for us to then start playing the game itself. But we'll actually try it a second to see, to verify it. But yeah, he's saying here stato botan, so yeah, the usual start, botan button. Slightly different because it's actually from Portuguese botão, as we have seen before. And by the way, yeah, it's an accented botão. Stato, on the other hand, should be accented on the first molar, but I still check it. Yeah, botão. I suspect in this case, since it becomes a compound, technically, the accent could then move. We could have an accent typical of compounds on the first more of the second word part of the compound, so on the of botan. But yeah, we can confirm it. Stato on the ta, surpassing the usual barely heard if at all of the su, and so on. Then we have the particle de with the start button. Gemu, so yeah, the game. Ni, so to the game. And then we have the verb modoru, go back. This we have seen in so many series. Unsurprisingly, it's a typical verb for video games when you go back to a menu or a previous area and so on. Accented. Last but not least, and here we have a peculiarity of Japanese. We have this kero, which actually is a contraction technique. We would the standard one would be repeated. Kero kero. Being an onomatopoeia should be accented. Can't see it there. I'll actually quickly check it in the physical dictionary then just to be sure, but I'd say it should follow the usual rule for onomatopoeias. These ones that get repeated. But it's the croaking of a frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Because, of course, Sleepy is a frog. Okay, no. But being repeated might be... Nope, can't find it also there, but I would say most likely accented like that. But it's actually the classical gobi. Gobi, the usual... actually, Chiara gobi. Chiara from character from English, Chiara. So Chiara abbreviated. Gobi can mean, it literally is word tail. So then actually and, word and, accented on the first word is such and is compound of those. So it can mean in grammar the inflectional ending of a word or end of a sentence. So it's with the addition of character. These are the words found at the end of speech of certain characters in Japanese media, which qualify them. Here, pretty simple. Sleepy is a frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Here only a single one. So we have checked out that out. Okay. So we have read also that we might actually follow his advice, because funny enough at the start I was trying to do that. We'll actually see quickly what General Pepper was saying here. Slightly before here. And so actually see a peculiarity of him. Washi wa controru e mata wa bi o susumeru. First and foremost we have washi. This we have seen before. The first person singular pronoun for all characters in Japanese games, anime, in fiction. An abbreviation of watashi, technically, then watashi the most common one nowadays, slightly formal. Watashi, even more formal, the original one. Washi is a contraction. It's the one used by the elderly, male term or language, technically. Then we have topic particle wa written as ha, so as for me. Control e, so control A. Then we have mata wa, which is, despite you might remember, mata, we've even studied its kanji, which means on its own again. Other meanings, but the fundamental one is again. let me see if I can actually find a better one technically. Well, from in addition could be technically also to as well. By further extension also on the other hand. So yeah, you can see then, or moreover, furthermore, but yeah, especially with that on the other hand, you can see why then it can actually get the meaning or otherwise. And usually actually mata on its own is not used with that meaning. To have that, we actually add wa. So yeah, or either or is actually this matawa, which actually, by the way, mata on its own unaccented. Here the ta is accented. So yeah, be careful about that. But yeah, it means or. So yeah, we can see it here perfectly. Control A or B, implied control again, object particle O, and then last but not least susumeru. Yeah, you might have guessed from the meaning, from the context, susumeru means to recommend. Think unaccented, yes, it is unaccented. And so yeah, actually is recommending those. Yeah, not that, of course. This is the break. Okay, then I think it. Okay. Okay, there we have something funny. So I actually, we'll actually quickly see what they say here. Well, first. Sleepy simply said again to with the start button you can go back to the game. Then Falco here, if I can get it, yeah, here he says Tsuite koi yo foxu. We have actually seen before this expression. Not like this, but in general, tsuite kuru or tsuite iku. We start from tsuku, the usual verb we have seen so much because it's a pretty fundamental meaning and used to be this one the intransitive. And notice again, actually intransitive in u, the transitive is tsukeru in eru. Yeah, this one to be attached, to be connect with, to adhere, to stick, and so on. We make the u verb colon verb, so we make the te form. We have to follow the rules. It's in ku, so it becomes ite because yeah, again we change the u into i. Tsukite, so the continuative form, and then to add te, but then the k fell, so actually only the i remain tsuite. And then, yeah, we have the form of a verb, and then we actually add a verb of movement, iku or kuru, in our case kuru, as we'll see in a second, to go or to come. So this expression, yeah, to be attached and go or come, it actually means to follow. To go, to come along, depending on the second verb. So unsurprisingly, yeah, you are quote-unquote attached to someone and then go or come, depending on the direction of the movement. So yeah, the form required, because then we use a verb of movement, but yeah, in this sense, it's straight up an expression nowadays. Being in kuru is completely irregular, so we straight up have to remember that koi is its imperative form in plain speech. So we see again the imperative, but yeah, completely irregular, exactly because of forms like this one. io again as the final sentence particle, but funny after it we have, because it straight up calls to us, fox, follow me, fox, says Falco. And then we have this, which is kind of weird at a first glance, but we'll see. Peppy says here, hentai o midasuna yo. Hentai literally means is an Chinese compound, unaccented. It means transformation, by extension abnormality, by extension also perversion, but clearly I'd say not in this sense here. There are also other ones, and actually now of course actually in this case most likely, considering the context, but I had to mention that one, which is actually the more common word technically. But this one most likely is actually another hentai, still unaccented Chinese compound, so unsurprisingly. This one means formation of aircraft, so it's perfect for our context. Then we have the object particle O. And we can also see, based on the verb then, midasu, which means to disarrange in our case, more in general, to throw into disorder, and so also, to disarrange, to disturb order, peace, and so on. That the accent accented, okay. After it we have na, which used after the dictionary form, terminal form of verbs, is used to make the negative imperative. So don't do the action of the verb. And then we have the usual final sentence particle yo. Don't in our case here disarrange, don't throw into disorder the formation, but I had to mention that, also considering that that's why then he kept on saying that. I don't think we will see here we have that. Okay, we had actually something else there from Falco. I think that the good news is that these sentences we'll find again, so we won't have to check them in the future by checking them now. Here, here, Sleepy says gero gero ore da yo, with the looks like a tilde that, and then the small su. But first and foremost, gero gero, again. Croaking, but notice that the consonant is voiced, and as you have seen, when we have onomatopoeias that can be voiced, when we have the unvoiced one is a lighter action, the voiced one is a heavier or less intense, more intense action. So here is quite a croak, a bigger, more intense one, technically. And then he says, ore da yo, ore, another first person singular pronoun. This one, male or language, rough at the very least, if not arrogant. I didn't expect it from Sleepy here. definitely not for the typical one we'll see when we play Star Fox 64 if it I doubt it will still be here, but yeah, here it is. Then we have the copula da again, and then yaw, the final sentence particle. Here also with that, that symbol means that, it's long, but also with this yaw, with this going up and down with the pitch. And then also technically the small tsu at the end, which means an abrupt end after that, strictly speaking a glottal stop, other than, of course, when followed by a consonant, the doubling of that consonant. Let's go back. I have seen that, here. Okay, let me try to save it here like this then. Okay, I got to see here Falco simply says roaring dase foxu. Rolling, it's a rolling. I'm pretty. I think we had seen that it's the term for barrel rolls in Japanese. Yeah, actually, more correct technically this one. Then the copula again, da final sentence particle ze, and then again calls for us fox. Then Pepita was saying the usual stuff there. Okay, there Falco said also something new. I think that after this we might first we'll take our usual break, and then we actually go back to the game itself and start properly. Here Falco says, but yeah, this is a perfect to end, which is fun as it's funny. And again, I think these should are ones that then we repeat in the game, so we actually are anticipating them by doing it, by seeing them here. So yeah, more convenient in a way. Here Falco says, Kyo wa doushitan da foxu? Kyo, today. Actually, as we see, it becomes kyo, but originally was ke-fu. So actually would respect the kanji used, strictly Japanese one, and then simply change the pronunciation because of changes in the language, because e was actually ye, the fu, pu originally, the p simply got dropped because changed into w, but before u simply dropped. So kyeu, you can see why then it became kyo, kyo-u, so actually then long o kyo. But yeah, we'll see that again. But yeah, after that we have the topic particle wa. Then we have doshita. First and foremost, do, the usual part word from the Kosoa do series. Do the interrogative. In what way? So how? After it, we had the verb suru. Here in its suru also completely regular. We have to remember that its continuative form is si, and then we had ta to make that a form. But yeah, literally, how did you do? We could say then by adapting it, what did you do in a way? But I actually used here with also the no usually. At the very least no, but here we have straight up no da with the no contracted into with the meaning what's the matter? What's wrong? So from that, what did you do? But in that sense specifically. as mentioned, not the usual nominalizer for verbs thing as in fact, da the copula, it is that, the fact is that, the explanation is that, and so on. Typical expression we have seen so many times because it's pretty important in Japanese. And then fox simply. But yeah, with that, I actually go back. I press start. I didn't want to do that, actually. Okay, actually, let's do it this way then. I'll go back here, reopen the game. I actually try to follow Pepper's advice to choose Control A or B. We see how we go after the training. Not the best idea, maybe, but we'll try it anyway. I still say that yeah, I get the idea that the brake is down while the boost is up. So honestly, let's try Control A. Yeah, we'll choose after it. I've barely shown it to exit it because I accidentally pressed it. Game. I actually press it. So yeah, we'll after our usual break around 5 minutes, slightly less, we actually start properly playing the game. And yeah, we have the 3 paths. Yeah, we'll start with the default one, which is the easier one, actually. And yeah, we'll then go in order. Yeah, see you in around 5 minutes, more likely less, for the continuation. And we're back. And yeah, so we can continue. I got, by the way, at the bottom mentioned the rewind. You might have noticed based on the combination of buttons. And yeah, funny enough, if you wait, then also we have that shooting star there. But yeah, the default one is the middle one, and it's level 1, as we can see here. On top we have level 2, on the bottom, level 3. And yeah, these are in increasing difficulty. We'll see how we'll do. Level 1 shouldn't be a problem. Level 2 already more so. Yeah, level 3 is genuinely difficult. We'll see how it goes. Luckily, we do have rewind, so in case I won't hesitate to use it. And by the way, you might have noticed that yeah, we actually are on CORNERIA. CORNERIA, as we have seen in the direct, in Japanese. Oh yeah, let's start level 1. Okay, and we do have a mission brief also in this game. This I didn't remember. Actually, it seems that it stays. But yeah. So here it says CORNERIA. Okay, no. Then it actually goes away after some time. But yeah, it gives you some time to check it out. But yeah, before that scramble and actually starting the stage, we'll have this to check then. And yeah, here, of course, General Pepper is talking. On the left, we can see him bigger this time. And yeah, he says, Star Fox no Shokun. Yeah, first with the long vowel. So yeah, simply like in English. Star Fox, possessive particle no. Shokun is a term used for you people, as in actually kind of like gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Could be also technically my friends, everyone. So yeah, used to introduce, referring to others, to the ones, to the audience, technically in front of you. Shokun, accent on the first mora, yeah, makes sense as technically it's a Chinese compound. Notice the kun. Yeah, actually the kun is the one we've seen as a suffix for like san and so on for names of people. And in that case, it's actually used after the name of usually a male of equal or lower status, used by males in a formal setting, in formal settings also for females of lower status and so on. But yeah, here actually used in its archaic usage, sir or madam. Actually, as mentioned by the dictionary, still used among members of the Japanese diet. But yeah, with this sho before it, which actually means values. So values, sir, madam. So yeah, you can see why then it gets that meaning. So yeah, is talking to us, members of Star Fox, all of us. Then he says, ware ware ni nokosaretate wa benom o chokusetsu tataku koto da. And yeah, first and foremost, we have ware ware, another pronoun. This one, first person plural. So we actually, as you might have noticed with the repetition, it's a plural because of that. Ware on its own would be technically I. Nowadays actually not particularly used, but can be found in the fiction. More often, you'll find actually this ware, this one more. But yeah. Then we have the particle ni, tu, as, then. Then we have no kosareta from no kosu. To leave, behind or undone, depending on the context. We've seen it before for sure, accented. U verb, colon verb, so we can change the U into A and then add reru to make the passive form of the verb. Passive form is a ru verb, it's some verb, so then we can simply drop the ru to add the ta to make the ta form, and so actually past form of the verb in plain speech. That has been left. After it we have te, which is actually the one we have studied before. By the way, verb, then a noun, relative clause as usual. The one we studied in is kanji. On its own, its fundamental meaning is accented, by the way, hand. But then several extended meanings in our case here means, way, move, trick, and so on. Then we have the topic particle wa. Then we have venom, object particle o. Hey SKS, we are continuing playing these games in order. So we started also for two reasons. First and foremost, actually for practical reasons when it comes to teaching the Japanese, because for example, in this case, as I mentioned before, and can be seen on screen, here it's all in katakana, so it's easier because of that. Also for those who have no kana. If not, I recommend checking, of course. We studied it in our very first two series, hiragana with Super Mario Bros, katakana with Super Mario Bros 2, as in those levels, or on your own. But of course, I always pronounce it. I always read it and then explain it for this series. But we are playing older games first and foremost because of that, and also to play them in order, so that we have the knowledge of previous games when we that we'll need also when it comes to the games themselves when we get to them. But now, while we will definitely go back also to some NES, Famicom in our case, games, we've started playing SNES ones, Super Famicom ones, and I'm playing Star Fox, of course, clearly because of the upcoming Star Fox game. We are playing this one for now. But as I was saying, Venom, so the name of Andros' planet, object particle O, Chokusetsu, a Chinese compound. Notice the U, as usual, barely heard if at all, the one of ku because it's between unvoiced consonants. The one of the two can also be barely heard, if at all, if we then have a pause because of the preceding unvoiced consonant. Joke sets should be an accent. Yes, it is, because it's a Chinese compound. It means direct. And actually, funny enough, it's actually the term used in Japanese for the famous directly for the Nintendo Directs originally. So yeah, there's also that funny aspect to it. Yeah, direct, immediate, and so on. Technically, an adjective can be used also as an adverb. Yeah, in our case here, I'd say as an adverb better, so directly. And then we have tataku as the verb, which means to hit, to strike. Several similar meanings: to beat, to knock, to pound, to bang, to slap. So more in general, to strike, to hit, and you can also apply all those other ones. Interesting enough, it's also technically to play the drums, because yeah, when you play the drums, you technically hit them. Other extended meanings, but yeah, this is the fundamental one. Accented, so yeah, tataku, low, high, low. After it, we have koto, thing as in matter, accent on the last syllable. But here, then, after it, we have the copula da. We have seen before already that when we have this koto da, it can also have the meaning, technically, you should, and so on. Advise that you, it's important too. But yeah, in this case, actually, let's say, considering the first part literally, it's, and then simply as a nominalizer for verbs. So yeah, it's attacking, striking. Yeah, so the translation so far. And by the way, we have a period here. Here is straight up a dot, because yeah, so like in English, but yeah, most likely because, as we have seen, all the English in this game, they didn't bother, or straight up couldn't add the regular period in Japanese, which is a small circle. But yeah, so the translation for this part is, as for the hand, as in actually, as we have seen, move, trick, and so on, that has been left to us. It's striking, venom, directly. And yeah, so that's that. Last but not least, it says, Waga CORNERIA o mamoru tame gambatte kure. And yeah, first and foremost, we have this waga, which I think we might I might actually have incidentally mentioned it recently for some reason. I don't remember which one. It's actually my or our, one's own. And yeah, notice the wa, similar to the ware above, because yeah, it actually uses the same kanji, but we have this shortened wa also, not just ware. We use this shorter form here because then we had ga, not the usual subject particle. In this case, it actually indicates possession. So yeah, it's actually a possessive particle, like no. But yeah, this actually is a literary possessive particle. in modern Japanese. So yeah, it was actually a possessive particle more used more in classical Japanese, but yeah, nowadays still found in certain expressions like this one, or considered literary. Yeah, so indicates possession. So yeah, of me as. So yeah, my, our. CORNERIA, the name of our planet. Here we can see it again in katakana. Object particle O. Then we have mamoru, the verb which means to protect. Should be accent. Yes, it is. By the way, I think we've found it before, and I've already mentioned it. Also, the name of a character in Sailor Moon, and yeah, the name of the boyfriend of Sailor Moon in her. The counterpart, the human, everyday counterpart of Tuxedo Kamen, Tuxedo Mask. But yeah, I wanted to mention it again incidentally. And by the way, being a name, given name from a verb, it actually is then an accent despite the verb being accented. So yeah, that's a rule of given names which come from verbs. But yeah, here the regular verb. After it we have tame. And yeah, we've seen before tame, actually should be tame, accent on the last mora. Yes, it is. Strictly speaking, a noun, so technically relative clause again. Nowadays, actually, well, can be straight up still be a noun, good, advantage, sake, purpose. But yeah, considering that meaning, it can also be used. Also can be consequence, result, effect. The most common usage is to make a final clause, so in order to. Can also be a causal clause, because. More often the former, but yeah, it can have both. But yeah, here we can literally keep it for the sake of protecting and so on. And yeah, then last but not least, gambatte, from gambaru, compound verb, where we have seen it before in previous series, and yeah, you might more likely than not to have heard it accented. Literally, it means to stubbornly stick, considering the words used in it. Yeah, so to persevere, to persist, to keep at it, to hang on, to hold out, to do one's best. Yeah, the usual. Gambatte, like we can see here, gambatte, even though here actually used with a certain something else after, or gambare, so yeah, usually also used in the imperative, polite, or in plain speech for hang on, do your best. But yeah, here actually the form. Well, it's a verb colon verb. It's in rules, so it becomes double consonant te. Again, which we follow the rules. Originally, we changed the U into I, gambari te, but then the I fell, gambar te, difficult to pronounce, so double consonant te. Here, that form required because actually we had kure, another verb of giving kureru. This one to give to the speaker, someone else gives to the speaker or someone close to them. Of course, after the form of a verb, do the favor of doing the action of the verb for the speaker or someone close to them. kureru is most has a peculiarity which is seen here. If we drop the ru, we can actually make also the imperative form. Not just it's a verb, it's a verb, so not just the continuative form and so on. No, also the imperative. So yeah, this is the imperative in plain speech of kure. So yeah, here is saying do as or do me the favor, simply speaking for himself, maybe as consider here the context, the favor of doing your best for the sake of protecting our CORNERIA. And yeah, so with that we have actually checked out the mission briefing, and we can actually start it. Yeah, here we have a scramble. Yeah, we have to pause, of course, when we find more dialogue. Hopefully, having seen all that in the training will help us to. We won't have to check as much. Yeah, here we come out from there. Oh yeah, the one at the start actually is new, because yeah, this is the typical one. So yeah, we check that out first and foremost. Yeah, the more we play, then the more the writings should repeat themselves, so then it will become faster and faster. Yeah, this is straight up our first proper mission, so unsurprisingly. Here, Fox says, unfortunately, it's not completely clear here because of the background. Yeah, he should be saying Zenki Hoko. Okay, no, Zenki Hokoku Seyo. Yeah, first and foremost, we have Zenki, which is actually Zen. We have seen that before. Could be other things, but yeah, in our case here, considering the context, should be Zen of all, Ki for machine in general, but yeah, in our case here, so all aircraft, all machines can also be in general, but yeah, here all aircraft. Then we have Hokoku, which means report. If you have played any Star Fox game, yeah, this is the typical introduction at the start. Yeah, Hokoku, Chinese compound. Well, Zenki also Chinese compound. I didn't mention its accent. This one should be accented on the first more. Actually, can find it there. Let's see if I can find it in the physical dictionary quickly. I suspect so, though, in this case. Let me see. Can find other ones, but not that one specifically. Okay. Yeah, okay. Here in the physical dictionary it mentions Zenki accented on the first mora, and for also that combination of kanji, not just the other ones. The other ones I was sure, because I've seen actually them before. They are common words. Yeah, Hokoku, on the other hand, an accent, yeah, the most common accent for Chinese compounds. Yeah, it means report, information, technical, but yeah, more specifically report. Well, technically report, the noun, but then we can make the verb by adding suru, literally to do a report, so to report. Suru, completely regular, so we have to remember that its imperative form, well, actually one of the imperative forms of suru is seyo, as we have seen. I want to find though the better. Well, I can simply mention technically The other one, shiro, is spoken. So actually the more common one nowadays. Seiyo is usually written nowadays. We could say more formal. But yeah, we have seen it actually in games. For example, we have seen it in Metro when we played Metroid, the first one on NES, on Famicom in our case, of course. Yeah, so here simply all aircraft report, as in do the report. Yeah, by the way, notice the voices in this game, unlike later ones with the actual voice acting. Then Falco says, Ude ga naruse. Yeah, this is an expression, apart from the ze at the end, which is the usual final sentence particle. Literally, we have ude, which means arm or arms, as in the body part. And so yeah, unsurprisingly, as usual for this, either accent on the last mora or an accent, but yeah, this one accent on the last mora, ude. By extension, arm can also then become ability, skill. And then we have the subject particle ga, and then naru. This one, unaccented. Yeah, it's not naru to become, which we have seen before, accented. This one, naru, means to sound, to ring, to resound, and so on. So yeah, literally, the arms, actually skills in this case, resound. So yeah, it actually means to be itching to put one's skills to use. So yeah, makes sense for Falco. Yeah, after that, Sleepy simply says Gambaruzo kero kero. Okay, Gambaru again, I'll do my best. Zo as the final sentence particle. Kero kero, of course. Ribbit ribbit. Last but not least, Peppy says Mutse wa surunayo. Yeah, this is actually quite useful. Because Musa is a Chinese compound, accent on the first mora, this one, which means absurd, unreasonable, ridiculous, other extended meanings, but yeah, quite often actually found here as here with the verb a noun, of course. We can then add the verb. Well, first we have here the topic particle wa. So yeah, as for unreasonable, implied things. Suru, to do. Of course, then the na after it. So yeah, don't do the negative imperative. And yo is the final sentence particle. So yeah, don't do. Unreasonable, reckless can also mean then by extension rash, reckless things implied. So yeah, with that we have actually checked it. So let's go back to the game. Yeah, start immediately. Yeah, there that I won't stop. Okay, no, let's actually take it. I'm taking a lot of hits also considering that. Okay, I'll quickly show that it was pretty easy actually. Pretty simple. Yeah, you have to be careful also not to hit the ground. But yeah, first Sleepy says mite, then kero, repeated twice, mite kero. So yeah, simply miru, again to see, to look at, to watch, it's the form, it's a verb, it's an verb, so we simply drop the ru, add te. Most certainly here implying a kudasai, so yeah, imperative, technically polite, not straight up in plain speech. So yeah, to make it at least somewhat less forceful. But yeah, we won't explain te kudasai again for now. We've seen it so many times. After it, though, that I wanted to show, funny enough, again, it says, ooh, I actually think I missed it then. Okay. Well, he simply said, mite ta, so yeah, have you been watching? But yeah, if he shows again, then, well, there I used also. Okay, let's actually try to rewind here to not waste all these things and actually maybe see what Sleepy says. Yeah, let's actually properly pay in the time here. So yeah, here, look, he says first. Yeah, then he says this. Let's actually take it here. Yeah, so mite ta. With the entire banks, also funny enough, and the second one with the again mite ta, longer, and also with that high and low. But yeah, mite ita, so the form in this case required to add iru to be as in to exist on its own of animate things after the form continuing action or state. So yeah, to be doing the action of the verb in te, to have add the whatever the verb in te says. So yeah. So in this case would be, have you been watching me? Of course, implied. Have you been watching? Okay, I can continue. Okay. Okay, we got the double laser, which is great here. We have to be careful. This should actually heal the shield. Too bad that, yeah, I had to rewind for the dialogue, so we couldn't see it in action. If I recall correctly, yeah, that heals the shield. Oh yeah, yeah, this is a peculiar yeah, we'll save that. To see what Peppy says there. Okay, let's go further in. Yeah, no, not as far there. Yeah, first he said that, yeah, notice that first we have the enemy there. Upcoming then Peppy. So yeah, first he says Nigerare ru wake nai daro. So yeah, first we have Nigeru to escape, to flee. We check its accent again. We have seen it before. I think actually might be accented. Yes, it is. Okay, I remember correctly. Verb is and verb, so we can then change the u into a and then add reru to make the passive or potential form of the verb. I'd say in this case actually potential, so yeah, can escape. After it we have wake, a noun, so technically a verb in attributive position if we had straight up more after before it a clause, relative clause. Wake means reason, cause, grounds, and so on. Here actually used in this expression, wake, ga, usually the subject particle, here simply implied, nai, or the verb arimasen in polite speech, nai, the adjective which means non-existent, also used as a replacement of the negative form of aru in plain speech, because it already has the same meaning. So instead of conjugating aru, we straight up replace it. So yeah, literally, there is no reason. So yeah, in this case, in the sense, there's no way you can escape. So in that sense, wakeganai means there's no way by adapting it into English. At the end, actually, we have daro shortened. Usually, it should be daro with the longer o. Of course, here, clearly not in its conjectural meaning. It's the one we have seen as in actually right. Don't you agree? I thought you'd say that. And by the way, I've actually checked this time the accent for the ro and the sho. Practically, the rule is that when it is with the actual conjectural meaning, I wonder, and so on, maybe, they are accented. The ro on the ro, the sho on the sho. When they are, when it's in the other meaning, right, don't you agree, and so on, those are unaccented. We have the accent of the verb. If it's accented, if it's usually unaccented, it gets accented on the last mora. So, for example, the typical kau, to buy, becomes accented on the u, kau. Kau daro, kau desho. So yeah, there's that. I finally checked it. But yeah, so here, so there's no way be able to escape. But yeah, I actually defeated the enemy before I realized it. So yeah, after that, Peppy says, Tanoshimi o toranai de kureyo. So yeah, Tanoshimi from Tanoshimu, which means to enjoy, and so to have fun, and so on, accented. Verb and verb, so we can change the u into i to make the conjugative form, and so also the corresponding noun, enjoyment. I think actually this one, if I recall correctly, yes, accented on the she, so it's irregular. Usually the conjugative form used as the corresponding noun is accented if the verb is accented on the last mora, unaccented if the verb is unaccented. This one moves the accent on the she, so be careful. But yeah, enjoyment, object particle o, and then toranaide, from toru, to take. So I've seen also in the other series, in Fire Red and so on. Verb go and verb, so we can change the u into a to make the realis not yet state form. We could say negative, technically form of the verb, to then add nai to make the actual negative in plain speech. Yeah, we add nai again. Nai is used also for this. Here, not on its own though, because after it we had de, which is one of the forms of the one of the te forms of e adjectives, so including also nai. Te form required because then we actually add kure again, so the imperative form of kureru, as we have already seen. Last but not least, yo as the final sentence particle. So yeah, here is saying don't do me the favor of not taking the enjoyment, the fun, in the sense, of course, away as we got it instead. Yeah, you wouldn't expect. Okay, then he's saying that actually. Okay, that I missed. I think might have been a bomb. Actually, let me test it by going back up and also take it. Okay, no, there I missed it again. I want to quickly check it just to be sure about this for later missions. Yeah, it is a bomb. But yeah, let's check quickly what Peppy says then. Yeah, here he says, Yosh Icho Agari. Well, yeah, first and foremost, the Yosh we have seen also in Pokemon Snap, straight up heard from Yoshi, usually then pronounced with the E, barely heard if at all, because there's a pause usually. It's actually the classical form of the verb yoi, the adjective, the E adjective yoi, E, so good, others extended meanings nice and so on. Yeah, so same meaning, but actually used as interjection, so yeah, okay. Here, also with the longer vowel, actually, alright, as in the sense is, can also be used as in when one is about to do something. And then it actually says Itso Agari, which is an expression. I hope we... Okay, perfect. Which, first and foremost, we have Itso, which is a numeral plus counter combination. Cho is used as the counter for several things technically. Fundamentally would be counter for long and narrow things. Technically also guns, but spades, hoes, oars, ink stings, candles, and so on. Cho is also used because that one actually could use also a different kanji. This one can use only this one. Counter for leaves in a book, especially one with traditional Japanese style binding. What interests us in this case, in particular case, actually counter for blocks of tofu, or more in general, counter for servings in a restaurant. Because yeah, this expression, cho is a counter of Chinese origin, so we use ichi as the number for one, also with the contraction here, icho. Accent on the before cho itself, so yeah, at the very least for this one, it's confirmed that it's before cho itself, most likely in general, but we'll verify it at another time. And then we have this agari from agaru, the verb which means to rise, to go up, and so on, to come up. We've studied its kanji, we changed the u into i to make the contractive form and so the corresponding noun, rise, increase, and so on. By one of the extended meanings, it's actually completion and finish. So yeah, literally would be one serving completed. And yeah, it's so this is an expression for orders up, one order ready, more literally, closer to the literal meaning. And yeah, can also be used then by extension for problem solved, one down, all done. Oh yeah, so that. Let's continue. Hopefully we'll be able to, at the very least, finish. And yeah, by the way, there I pressed the brake yeah, when you press the brake or the booster, I'll show it again with the booster, that bar on the top, on the bottom right depletes, but then charges up again. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, for now, funny enough, after all that, okay, let me actually check this out. I don't remember this. Okay, no, that one I think was simply again would have healed us if we had taken damage. Of course, we are taking it after that. Okay, there I first actually hit poor Peppy. Okay, that's... Okay, then I actually needed not to take all these hits. So we actually come back here. Not particularly needed to pause since I would do it like this. But yeah, a lot happened there, but yeah, you might have actually got also the rewind technically. Oh yeah, it starts here. First and foremost, Peppy says... Shimatta. Technically it will stop there in a way because yeah, it's an exclamation. Literally, we have seen Shimau unaccented to end, to finish. After that, the form of verbs to finish as to completely, to end up doing, as in to accidentally, the action of the verb intent. And so actually here, as the expression used in that sense, to end up doing, I ended up doing something that I shouldn't have. Shimau, by the way, verb, colon verb, it's in U. Straight up ending with the kana U, so actually originally was pu. So we changed the U into I, shimapita, but then the I fell, shimapta, difficult to pronounce, double consonant ta. Then we have bakku, from English back. Notice the doubling of the consonant. The accent should be the same though. Let me see if I can find it. Then we have the object particle o. And then torareta. But yeah, bakku, yeah, accent of the, like in English on the ba. Torareta, yeah, it's from toru again, verb colon verb, so we can change the u into a and then add reru to make the passive form of the verb, which is also then is a verb itself verb, so we can simply drop the ru to add ta and make that a form of past form of the verb in plain speech. So the translation here is shoot, we would say, as the exclamation, not as in actual shooting, but in that sense, dang it. Notice that we actually have the technically a passive form of the verb with an object particle, and that's because it's technically a passive of damage. I'm not sure what the term is in English, but yeah, when someone gets afflicted by the action done by someone else, technically. So in this case, they got my back. And by the way, yeah, so there's that. That's why we have the object particle there. Let's continue here. And yeah, after that, I hit Peppy by mistake, and it says oreda, utsunjanai. So yeah, first oreda, so yeah, it's ore, I, da, the copula, so yeah, it's me, repeated twice. Utsu, means, well, there's another one which simply means to hit, to strike, to knock, to beat. But yeah, no, consider the context. It's the other one, which, funny enough, we have already studied its kanji thanks to Kirby's Adventure, which means to shoot a gun, to fire. And then we have so the contraction of no, and then zanai, so yeah, actually contraction of dewa nai, but yeah, it's the how you conjugate the copula in its negative form. So you make the form of the copula de, add also wa, it's required in this case. The topic particle, so yeah, literally as for being the case, that being the case, and then we add nai again. But yeah. So yeah, literally it isn't shooting, as in me implied. So yeah, you should, you mustn't shoot me. You shouldn't shoot me. After that, I defeated here, yeah, the actual enemy. Oof, barely difficult to show it. Okay. Okay, yeah. Barely said this, despite I at the same time I practically hit the enemy. He says Tanomu, which is a verb, which means to well, in this case, well, in general means to request. Can also be then by extension to entrust to, but yeah, here to request to beg. So yeah, I beg you, accented, tanomu. And then it says katazukete kure. Yeah, we have this katazukeru. Which means I think I actually find it, yeah. Here, weirdly written with, I think it's it becomes then a variant. Usually, it should actually be kata zu with the tsu with the voicing. Usually, yeah, compound verb kata. Accent on the first mora. Has several meanings, one of a pair, incomplete, so actually imperfect, and so on, and several other extended meanings. When we add zuku, so actually from tsuku, well, tsukeru in this case, but yeah, we can make the verb both in the intransitive and transitive, depending on tsuku and tsukeru again. It means to put in order, to tidy up, to clean up, by extension to settle a matter, and so on, and several other similar meanings, but yeah, these are the fundamental ones, luckily accented just like the tsuku and tsukeru. Yeah, so in this case, deal with, to dispose, as in to settle, ru verb is some verb like tsukeru, so yeah, we drop the ru to add the te to make that a form, and then again kure. So yeah, do me the favor of dispose of the enemy implied. The enemy implied. And yeah, after that he said, he says suman foxu. Suman is a contraction of sumanai. You might have heard its polite form sumimasen. And yeah, now we won't focus on its origin and so on. But yeah, it's one of the ways to say sorry in Japanese. And yeah, here we simply have then the contraction of instead of nai, which is still a negative. So yeah, sorry, Fox. Also, by the way, actually used as in excuse me, by extension then as a way to say thank you in the case of contexts like this one. So I'm sorry that you had to do to bother you. Oh yeah, we actually did that. Ooh, I didn't want to use a bomb immediately. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay, again. Yeah, because we rewinded. But yeah, this time I did it properly. Let's get this, please, and heal the shield. Perfect. Yeah, as you have seen, when your shield gets depleted, you die. We have 2 lives on the top left corner of the screen. Yeah, rather keep them. We might check if they say something when you lose in this game, I don't remember. And I actually didn't see in time here. And now on the top right corner we got to see an enemy bar with enemy. So yeah, it's actually the health of the boss of this stage. So yeah, perfect. We should be able to at the very least finish this stage before ending the stream. Yeah, if it wasn't clear enough, the weak point are those glowing parts there. Oof, hit there. Yeah, funny enough, the ones to the right, yeah, also this one to the right now falls off. We want to drop that one as well, especially since those drop also are sending us hits. Okay, we also have that on the back, I think. Actually, yes. Ooh, the enemy there from the back. Okay, but we defeated the boss. And so we should soon see soon enough. Yeah, stage 1 clear. Oh yeah, they say all this stuff, so we save that. Perfect. Yeah, after that they go away. But yeah, let's check what they say. First and foremost, Fox. Yeah, here it straight up repeats the usual. First and foremost, Zenki Hokokuseyo aircraft report. Yeah, first and foremost, Sleepy says, Nantoka Ikinobiteru Dayo da na. Actually, we have the na in this case at the end. It's the final sentence particle. But yeah, first we have this Nantoka. So from nani, pronoun which means what, with the abbreviation of the ni into n because of the following to, ka in this case. Particle, actually combined particle technically. To the quotation particle, ka the interrogative particle, to ka becomes then actually and the like, such as often as to ka and then to ka, or something like. It can also straight up be to ka with the quotation, and so yeah, or something like, as in to make a statement vague or less absolute. But yeah, here with the nan, it's yeah, something or something, as in something or other, or then by extension, and this is the usage we can see here, somehow. The dealing with something. Yeah, because after that it says ikinobiteru. So yeah, ikinobiru, compound verb. yeah, from clearly Ikiru, we have even studied this kanji, to leave, verb is and verb accented on its own, so we can drop the ru to make the continuative form, and then to add the second verb part of the compound, nobiru, also accented, to stretch, to extend. So yeah, literally extend living, so yeah, to survive, like accented like nobiru. Verb is and verb, nobiru, and also this one, so we can again drop the ru to add the te and make the te form. After it, ru, so actually iru contracted, continuing action or state. Last but not least, nda, again, it is that, the expression we have already seen, and na as the final sentence particle, yeah, this one, which is, has several meanings, but yeah. So yeah, here, Sleepy is saying, I survived, I'm, well, more, actually more, in Japanese, I am surviving, somehow. Okay. And then Peppy says, Yosha, Tsugi ko Tsugi. So yeah, first we have this Yosha. You might have noticed with the ore, as I mentioned before, and also even more so, with this sentence, yeah, Peppy is quite different, the characterization here compared to the old Peppy in Star Fox 64 and so on. Way wiser there. Here more enthusiastic, yeah, also rough or arrogant with the ore, as we have seen. But yeah, first and foremost, we have this Yosha, again, still colloquial, of course, actually, but yeah, still from Yoshi, as we have seen. So yeah, okay, yeah, the seeming, the meanings are still okay. We could say better gotcha, and so on, considering that it's colloquial, this one. After that, he says tsugi, so next, accented on the last mora. Then he says iko, shortened, but yeah, still clearly actually from iko, iku, verb, colon verb, so we can change the u into ou. So actually long o, here shortened. But yeah, evolution form of the verb, so yeah, let's go to the next. And then tsugi repeated, so yeah, again to show that he's really enthusiastic, but also straight up impatient, we could say, about that, this. And then last but not least, here Falco says, Choroi, which means, is another colloquial term, which means simple, both simply as straight up easy, or a simple way of thinking, simple-minded, obvious of a trick. Yeah, here I'd say simply, funny enough, easy, simple. And yeah, then again, monda, so it's a simple thing, simply we could say copula, and then say as the final sentence particle. Oh yeah. And yeah, we have the results here that we have seen. Barely so, but yeah. Oh yeah, so actually we went there. But yeah, here we'll stop. Here. I save by, because I'm pretty sure there isn't actual saving here apart from the score. So we save like this, and we can close the game. And yes, so today we started this new series, Star Fox, for the Super Famicom. That's nice, but yeah, here we're playing the Japanese version, so Super Famicom. We checked out the screen where we had all the controls. We also saw some kanji there, but we studied those next time. And a good thing we actually kept them for next time, since we actually had more things to check this time at the start, because yeah, we also tried the training, got some writings there, and then we luckily had time to play at least the first level of level 1, CORNERIA. That's the first level of all levels, pretty sure, with differences though should be the case, but we'll see it when we get to it. Yeah, CORNERIA, the first level. And yeah, luckily we got to play it fully. And yeah, so next time, which for this series will be on Wednesday as usual, because yeah, this series, this second Let's Learn Japanese with series, we play exclusively on Wednesday as a way to alternate between the streams for the Let's Learn Japanese with series Pokemon Fire Red on Monday and Friday. Won't play that this Friday because I'll be busy. Yeah, again, I'll be out of town, and even if I get back in time, yeah, I will be too tired to stream, definitely. So yeah, we Pokemon Fire Red next Monday. In this occasion. On Sunday we'll have a stream mostly just for fun, which will be. Unless plans change, and the design straight up can't stream, but yeah, hopefully we'll be able to, because there's a festival in Sonic Racing Crosswords, so we'll tackle that and also continue the game in general. Yeah, see you next time.